Hey, Seth David here from the world famous Nerd Enterprises Incorporated, bringing to you tip number 5 on Bulletproof bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online for real estate agents. If you've missed the prior 4 tips, just check the description. I'll have them all linked up so you can go back and catch up. The 5th tip is going to be something that if you're the bookkeeper or accountant who's looking to learn to serve the real estate agent, you're going to hear it. You're going to be like, why are you telling me this? But I'll explain, so bear with me. So the tip itself is hire a professional bookkeeper or an accountant to manage your finances. Now, obviously, you don't really need me to tell you, that tip, but I want you to listen to what I'm going to share because this is going to help you get a lot more clients as far as when you're talking to real estate agents. I want you to hear how I explain and talk about this, and I want you to remember the language I use because it's the same language you should be using when you're speaking to that prospective real estate agent client that you want, that real estate agent that you would like to have become a client. And I want to share, kind of I'm going to share it as a story, but it's really based on a collection of experiences. It's not just one story. It's just that the same kind of thing happened over and over again with me when I started doing a lot of one-on-one training directly with real estate agents. And basically what it comes down to is this. They come in my door, and this is not unique to the real estate agent industry. It's everywhere. But a lot of times the small business owner, the real estate agent comes in my door and says, hey, my books are a mess, or I have no books to speak of, or I have books, but I might as well have no books to speak of. And bottom line, I need your help getting it cleaned up. And earlier in this series, I mentioned that it's really important to keep things up to date weekly, if not monthly. Even if you're using a bootstrap spreadsheet system, keep it up to date. The agents who came to my door did not. The other reason a lot of agents came in my door is because their previous bookkeeper might have even had some bookkeeping experience, but didn't have specific experience with real estate agents. And it's going to be true in a lot of businesses, but not in all. There are a lot of sort of service-based businesses where if you have basic bookkeeping experiences and you know the fundamentals real well, you can pretty well figure out how to handle the books for, a particular service industry. That's not the case with real estate agents. And the reason real estate agents are such an exception is that there are a lot of nuances to what has to be tracked and calculated and recorded in just such a way. It can get very complex. The classic example is, so here's where I'll share, a quick actual story. So I had a client come to me a few years back, and they said, hey, we're interested in your services. They wanted to hire me to do their books for them, and it was a team of agents. And I said, sure. I talked to them about the services, told them what my rates are. Not the cheapest solution, never wanted to be. And they said, yeah, you know what, we're going to try something else first. And I said, no problem. If you can find somebody else to handle it and it costs you less and they still do a great job, then that's the smart thing to do. Within 2 weeks, I think, maybe a little more, but I think it was about 2 weeks they came back to me having tried it with somebody else. And they said, we'll pay your rates. And the moral of the story is the person that they tried to do it with originally or before me didn't have the real estate specific experience. So when they started talking about things like getting paid at the table, it was like they got that deer in the headlights look. Bookkeeper didn't understand what that meant because that's something that you will never hear about in any other industry except if you work with real estate brokers and agents. There are many other things in terms of the commission structures, how it's split, when there are finder's fees, when there are reimbursements to the broker. There's so many little pieces of this, moving parts, that are so specific and unique to the real estate industry that you really need to have somebody who understands all of this. So if you're the accountant or bookkeeper that I'm speaking to who's interested in learning to serve this niche, well, then you're definitely in the right place because my whole goal here is to encourage you to sign up for my course. And as I've mentioned in the other videos, if you happen to be catching this before September 18th, 2023, then check the description for the link to sign up and get on my early bird waitlist so that you'll be the first to be notified as soon as I launch the new agents module as an add-on to my course, which will now be Bulletproof Bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online for real estate brokers and agents. You'll be the first to know. You'll be the first to get a chance to take me up on the opportunity to take advantage of the offer and the bonuses that I'm going to be sharing with you for a limited time once we open that cart on the 18th of September 2023. So check the description below for the link. And again, quick recap. hire a professional to manage your finances. If you're the agent that I'm speaking to right now, hire a bookkeeper. Ask if they've taken my course, right? If you're the accountant or bookkeeper, understand that this is the information I just shared with you in the form of this tip is what you want to impress upon your prospective agent, that they can't just look for any bookkeeper. They need somebody who's got this experience, who understands their industry and all of those nuances that go along with it. If you use that language in your conversations with the real estate agents, you'll strike the right chord. What you're saying will resonate with them, and they'll understand that you do have the knowledge and experience and background that they need, and not everybody does, even if they have bookkeeping experience. That's my 2 cents or 10 cents worth for tip number 5 on Bulletproof Bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online for real estate agents. And I'll see you in the next tip.